YouTube, what's going on, y'all? It's Pick Saber here, and welcome to another video. Really quickly, before I get into today's video topic, I want to remind you, if you're new here, go check out my introductory video where I go into detail about what type of content to expect on the channel. So the Iowa Hawkeyes are coming off a 9-4 campaign with a bowl victory over a good Vanderbilt squad. And although I have an immense amount of respect for Kirk Ferentz as a head coach, I do have my concerns about this Iowa football team heading into the upcoming 2026 season. First of all, Iowa is dealing with a significant amount of roster turnover, replacing key contributors across the board, including their quarterback, Remington Award-winning center Logan Jones, 3 different starting offensive linemen, all 4 starting defensive linemen, and most importantly, 3 key starters in the special teams unit. While there is plenty of continuity on both the offensive and defensive staffs, the special teams staff took a hit with the departure of longtime special teams coordinator LeVar Woods. Now, to the average college football team, the loss of a special teams coordinator might not be that significant. But to a team like Iowa, this departure adds a layer of uncertainty to a unit that has historically been a backbone of the team's success. Woods' 18-year tenure was instrumental in establishing a philosophy where special teams alongside disciplined defense are used to win the hidden yardage battle. The Hawkeyes will be replacing their 3 most important starters from last season, who all played critical roles in Iowa's field position dominant strategy. Drew Stevens, a 4-year starting kicker who was a staple for the Hawkeyes, moved on to the NFL. Reese Dakin, an Australian punter who played a key role in the field position game, entered the transfer portal to follow LeVar Woods to Michigan State. And Caden Wetjen, a return specialist who holds Iowa's program record for most return touchdowns, also moved on to the NFL. Iowa will also be replacing their quarterback Mike Gronowski. And while the Hawkeyes are not typically known for high-level quarterback play, Gronowski set a program record for rushing yards by a quarterback and tied the Big Ten record for rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in a single season. The defense will also be undergoing significant transition, replacing 9 starters as well as 10 of their top 13 tacklers from last year's unit. The defensive front is arguably the biggest question mark, with the departure of nearly every major sack producer from last season. The Hawkeyes lost 6 of their top 8 defensive linemen, including Aaron Graves, Ethan Hurkett, Max Llewellyn, and Jonah Pace. This amount of turnover is the most substantial defensive personnel reset this program has ever faced under defensive coordinator Phil Parker. And with this level of attrition on the defensive side of the ball, the team is forced to rely on a blend of unproven returners and portal additions who are still learning the language of the defense. The Hawkeyes could very well start the season 3-0, as I do have them projected as double-digit favorites in their first 3 non-conference games, but the Big Ten schedule doesn't do them any favors. Conference play for the Hawkeyes begins with a very difficult 3-game gauntlet, with the game on the road in Ann Arbor versus Michigan, at home versus Ohio State, and on the road at Washington. 3 games in which I project Iowa as underdogs of more than a touchdown. Now, they will get an extra week of rest following the Washington game before they take a trip to Minneapolis to play for the Florida Rosedale, which is also another game in which I project Iowa as an underdog. In my opinion, there's just way too many question marks in all 3 phases for me to be confident that Iowa can follow up last year's 9-4 finish with an outstanding 2026, which is exactly why I bet the under 7.5 wins at plus 110. As my projections make Iowa a 7-win team. So if you enjoyed today's video, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, as I'll continue to bring more and more content leading up into the season. But until then, I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Pick Saban, clocking out.